A tragic night in downtown Savannah as two men are killed, one a Savannah police officer.
Now we know more about what happened the night Sgt Kelvin Ansari died, and if the officers did the right thing by shooting the man who killed him.
News 3's Andrew Davis has been poring over the documents and body camera video. He is joining us now with our top story.
The Chatham County Grand Jury's job was to decide if the shooting of Edward Fuller by Savannah Police was justified. We now know that answer is yes. And tonight we have the video and details about why it happened, as well as the last moments of Sgt Kelvin Ansari's life. We do have to warn you, though, some of this video may be disturbing.
No, I don't see anybody in the driver's seat.
That was the decision Sgt Kelvin Ansari made just moments before his death. He was one of the officers who came to the Boys to Men barber shop on May 11th for an armed robbery call. The suspect, Edward Fuller, witnesses told police, was hiding in a car just behind the shop.
Stay in the car. I need EMS.
Officer down.
Three Bravos hit. I need EMS.
Fuller opened fire and Ansari shot in the leg, the bullet hitting his femoral artery. He eventually bled to death. As officers concentrated on Ansari and fellow officer Douglas Thomas, who was also shot, Fuller ran away and hid.
He's probably 6'3".
Okay.
White t-shirt.
Yep.
Jean shorts.
Okay.
Okay. Big heavy set guy.
Okay.
Ran on the other side of that SUV and jumped the fence.
Neighbors gave police the information they needed to find him, some still interviewing witnesses when shots rang out again.
Out of that SUV on the left side. Oh my God.
Just stay inside, stay inside.
It happened just outside that house as a line of officers led by a canine cop tracked Fuller to a backyard shed. 4 shots hitting and killing Fuller as he tried to run away. The grand jury heard from witnesses and watched the videos, including slowed down versions of the moment Fuller pulled his gun on Ansari, and again in the backyard when he raised his gun to officers one last time.
When the police went there, they discovered that he had actually changed clothes. And they found evidence from the armed robbery jewelry that had been taken previously. They actually also found him with a loaded gun that ended up forensically being tied back to the murder of Sgt Ansari.
Chatham County District Attorney Meg Heap says the evidence gave a disturbing picture of Fuller, a man who was found with drugs in his system and his car, a man with a vendetta.
Civilians testify that he was there because he had a grudge against the victim, which why the police responded to begin with in the armed robbery, and that he had told someone that in fact he was going to do something and said, "Watch me on the news tonight." It was so unnecessary. I mean, and that's not even the right word to use. Someone was murdered because of this man had a grudge against somebody else.
It doesn't bring Officer Sgt Ansari back in any form, but good for the police officers to know that they did the right thing in that case.
I mean, I think the grand jury told the officers as well and thanked them for their service, and they don't get to hear that often.
So did the other officers involved testify in this case?
Yeah, they did, and it was described to me as very emotional out there. Actually, several of them broke down during their testimony because of the emotions that rained through, especially because they knew Sgt Ansari so well. But by doing that, they did help clear Officer Austin Foraker, who ended up firing those shots to kill Fuller. It also hopefully brought some closure to a night that they say they'll never forget, and I don't think anybody around here is going to forget for a very long time.
Andrew, thank you.